Hello everyone, this is Dashy Pink, and today I am going to draw a fire dragon. I'm going to show you how to draw a fire dragon. And I've never done this kind of video before, but let's hope that it goes okay. The last time I did the video, my head was in the way, so I'm gonna redo this. So first of all, I start out with kind of like an ovalish type circle. I think of it as the skull of the dragon. And I usually put in these lines so I know where the horns are going to go and the snout and stuff. So first what I'm going to do now is I have that, and now we're going to want to put in the snout. Now we start from that line when we go in to draw the snout. And we make sure that it's kind of straightish but kind of curved. Then from there we kind of curve downward. Now the forehead's kind of too large, so I'm gonna kind of start over on that line. There we go. Usually how I make sure that the snout is pretty smooth with the forehead, I usually go along from the forehead, and then I kind of just smoothly branch out into the snout. Now you don't want to make their snout too long, so we're going to carve down right about here. And you want to make sure that their the roof of their, or the top of their mouth or lip or anything or whatever kind of looks like it kind of has tusks, because they kind of have kind of like a hard beak, so to speak. Now I'm going to do the bottom jaw, or the outline of the bottom jaw, which is, first you just kind of draw like a kind of like a curved line, and then you draw the outline of the jawbone. Don't like how that looks. Sorry about that. Very picky about what my dragons look like. In fact, we're actually going to kind of curve outward like this, kind of make him look like he's kind of like a bottom overbite maybe. And then going to kind of curve in, and we're going to leave a space there. Then we do the jaw. Make it kind of so he kind of looks old or something. Now I'm going to do the outline of the neck. From this line right here is pretty important, because that's where I'm going to determine where the horns go and where this top part of the neck goes. Now from this line, go up about maybe a few centimeters, or a little more if you want him to have really high ears. I usually kind of do curved line that's kind of curved both ways, but make sure it's not too curved up because we want to get that animal-like ear shape. I usually base my dragons off of horses or deers or something like that. But the large ones, you gotta kind of think of like a real bulky and just large, kind of like Komodo dragon, or like a large bulky lizard or something. Something similar to that. Or like a large dinosaur or something. Dragons are related to dinosaurs in a way. Now for the horn, as you can see, I am doing kind of a curved like horn. When you're doing the horns, kind of think of maybe like a billy goat or a ram. Well, I guess a billy goat and a ram are basically the same thing. From the other top of the head, we want to make sure that we draw another line there, because they have two horns, right? You know, you want to make sure that it's not Mr. One Horn, you know, on one side. That wouldn't look very good in nature. Now we can do some spines. I'm going to do a few spines on this guy. Just kind of do a few lines for them at first. Just kind of get rid of those few lines there that are kind of in the way. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start darkening out the snout area. And from there I'm just going to go on to the upper part of the mouth, kind of like the tusk-like things, or teeth, whatever you would call them. And then from there, go down to the bottom jaw. Kind of just darken in the whole outline. Seems pretty good. Now, what you want to do is you want to draw the nostril. Now the nostril, kind of think of like a cow or a bull or something like that when you're doing the nostril, because fire dragons, they kind of have to have large nostrils. To kind of maybe defend themselves. Well, they have to make sure they can breathe pretty well, because they do have to breathe fire, but that's only through their mouth. The nose is just for a ventilation kind of thing. And notice I'm putting this line from the nose down to the upper tusk. And what I'm doing there is I'm creating the start of his top scales. There I'm going to put a line from the nostril up to the part of the nose there. Now I'm going to start on the ear. Just kind of darken in right there. Now from this line, I'm going to darken it to from about right there. I'm going to go up. Right now I'm starting on the skin part for the horn, which you want to give the effect that the horn is coming out of the skin, like from the skull. And you can make the horn smooth or like spiky if you want. Right now I'm just going to do simple ridges, which are pretty easy to do. You just kind of make them kind of squarish. You kind of do this all around the dragon's horns. Horn on one side. You want to make sure that they get kind of smaller as it gets towards the point of the horn. Now we can get rid of that line there. Now I'm going to start with the brow, which is for the eye. Just kind of make a brow ridge, kind of like that, kind of make it look like it's mad. Fire dragons kind of have small eyes, tend to have small eyes. So I'm going to do kind of a small lemon-shaped eye. And I like to draw my dragons with slit eyes. So that's what I'm doing. But what I want to give him that kind of gentle giant look. Because most people, when they would see, if they would see like you know, if you see like a big, huge, fire-breathing dragon walking around the streets, you know, most people they would see that and they would wrongly interpret it of, oh my gosh, there's a dragon. It's gonna kill us all. Because dragons are supposed to kill people. But that's how the Greek or the English pursues dragons. They pursue dragons as like a symbol of evil, and just they want to destroy them because they think they're bad. But I like the Chinese theory about dragons. I like to believe as dragons as very powerful beings, and that they don't like to eat people. Because people, they don't taste very good to them. No, no, no. They will eat people if they are starving, I would believe. But I like to think of dragons as good-natured, because they are supposed to be the protectors of the earth. But unfortunately, that's when the English or Hispanics came along, and they looked at dragons and they went, "Oh God, it's a giant lizard! Whatever do we do? It's a monster! It doesn't look right, you know?" And they said that animals shouldn't look that way. Let's get rid of it, you know? All the dragons were trying to do is share their knowledge with the humans, but unfortunately, humans have a sense to greed things. And yes, dragons do too, but they only use the gold like kind of like a bed. Because, you know, if they were to have like a normal bed, it would essentially burn up. Because, you know, if you fire breathe, then you're like sleeping and all, and you just happen to be having like a bad dream or something, and hey, what the heck if you happen to puff out a flame or a puff of seemingly hot smoke, right? And poof, there goes your bed. It's on fire. Oh no, that's gonna set the house on fire too. Or at least your surroundings. So dragons tend to nest on things that are more suitable for them. Which would be, in other words, like gold. Now when you do the shadings on the top scales, make sure that you leave part of the scale untouched, because then the scale looks shiny. You want that look in dragons, because you want to make them look like they have very beautiful shiny scales, which they do. And I know I'm talking about dragons as if they do exist, you know. I know that I'm just doing that because I like dragons. And I know there's a lot of people out there that like dragons, and there's a lot of people that they're skeptics and they say dragons are evil or they don't exist. Ha ha, you shouldn't believe in anything that doesn't exist, you know. Because you never know what could happen. There could be a catastrophic event that happens or something, but enough of that talk right now. Now I want to get into shading the horns. First, let me finish up on these few scales back here. Right now on paper, and right now, I know you can't see it the way I do, but I have to shade pretty dark on this, because on the computer that it won't really show up unless I'm shading in pretty dark. This is usually how I shade in my horns when they have ridges on them. So I kind of think of like a seashell, or maybe even a centipede or something. Ooh, I don't like centipedes. Kind of scary. The shade just kind of gives it out a little more. Now we're going to shade the secondary scales. Kind of shade those the same way. I like to think that dragons might have some like swirls on them, so I usually do that on the face scales. It kind of makes them look cool. I know I do that a lot with my white-tipped dragon, which is a different type of dragon. I'll have to explain that one later. Right now we're finished with the headpiece scales, and I want to make this video short. So for the body scales, I'm not going to do as fancy as I usually do. So I'm just going to draw clusters of scales, which can give the illusion that you have a bunch of scales on there. Because that's basically all what drawing is. It's just an illusion. And to most, illusions are magic, right? Magic is actually, pure magic is science. That's all it is science. Now when I'm doing these scales, you can notice that they're a lot smaller towards the face. And I like to make the scales that go down towards the body a little bigger, because you know the dragon might be tougher there. Now we can start shading in the body part. And when you're shading, steer clear of the scales, because you want to make it look like they're shiny. Which right now is, I think I put too many scales on there. I would go around and shade between every individual scale, but I'm kind of running out of time here, so I'm just gonna do a few light shading here and there. Now, what I'm going to do is, you may not want to do this because most people don't like getting their fingers dirty. So I'm just going to kind of smooth that in there. Now, from here you can make a line that comes from the chin area. You can shade that in. That'll give it some depth right in there. And there you have it, the official fire dragon. This has been Dashy Pink, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.